Hello creative minds, welcome back to Style by Marvel Greg, and on today's project we'll be learning how to make this pleated jumpsuit. This jumpsuit has a snatched waist because of the pleats at the waist area. If this looks like what you're interested in, then do well to like, subscribe and share. Let's get right into the video, guys. So for this project, I'm making use of this crepe fabric. I have about 3.5 yards here, which I managed. So now I'm going to be showing you on paper how I'm going to fold. I'll fold like this first because I'm cutting the back and the front together. Then I'll fold again like this. So I'm going to be having a fold of 4, just like you're seeing here. So this I'll fold first like so, and I'll fold again this way to have my front and back piece. We are cutting both the front and the back piece together. So I'll fold and I'll come back to show you. So after folding, I went ahead to give it a good press, and this is what it's looking like. You can see now we have a fold of 4. The next step now, we're going to determine our crotch extension, and how I'm going to do that is to divide my total hip measurement by 10. What I have is 4.4, so I'm just going to minus extra 0.4 inches. So I'll be marking just a total of 4 inches at the starting point. I'll do this all the way around my fabric. Like I used all of this fabric, like the length of this fabric is the total length of my jumpsuit. So I'm going to be measuring this 4 inches all the way. So if yours, whatever you got from yours, you can minus 0.5 or 0.3, but me, I minus 0.4 inches because it's easier to locate 4 inches. So I just went ahead to mark this 4 inches all the way around this fabric, just like I'm doing. So this is going to serve as our crotch depth extension for both the back and the front piece as well. So just go ahead and pay attention. This jumpsuit is very easy to make if you just follow the steps. I'm going to try to be detailed as much as I can. So I'm just going to highlight the line so you can see. So the next step now is to go ahead. I pinned my fabric down because I didn't want it to move so much. So what I'm going to do now is to locate my chest line, my bust point. So I'm going to be marking my bust point area just like so. I'm trying to locate my bust point. So the bust point I'm working with is 11 inches. Then I went ahead to mark my waist point as well. I went ahead to mark my waistline. So I'll mark this. I will try to mark everything step by step so you can follow appropriately. So we're marking our chest line and our waistline. So I'm going to do this all the way, and I'm going to use my rule to just connect it like I'm doing here. So this is my bust points that I'm marking here now, and the other mark that I made is my waist line. So after highlighting my waistline, the next step is to go ahead and determine our crotch line. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to go ahead and divide my hip measurement by 4. So after dividing my hip measurements by 4, what I got was 11 inches. So I added extra 3 inches, and that is 14 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to impute my tape on my waistline. So for my waistline, I'm going to mark my 14 inches, and that is going to be my crotch line. So I'm just trying to get my calculation correctly. Just like I said, you measure your hip measurement, divide by 4. Mine is 44. So 44 divided by 4, I got 11. So I'm adding extra 3 inches because this is a free jumpsuit, so we want that area to be as free as possible. So I'm going to place my tape on my waist point, just like you're seeing in this video. I placed my tape on my waist point, and I went ahead to mark my 14 inches all the way. I'll mark my 14 inches and I'll go ahead to rule a straight line. So I'm marking my 14 inches and I'll just go ahead and rule all the way. I will adjust my fabric so you could see what I've done. I didn't know this part was not really showing so well. So you can now see we have 3 lines. We have our bust point, we have our waistline, and now we have our crotch line, and that's basically the lines we'll be working with. So now we'll extend my crotch line all the way to the center of the fabric I'm working with. So like I said, the full length of this fabric is what I used for the jumpsuit. So the next step now is to go ahead. At that point I went up slantedly like 1 inches and I marked it. So now I'm now going to use that to guide to my curve. Don't mind my fabric, it fell off, so I placed it back, and I'll just go ahead and curve it. I'll curve it like so, just the way you curve for your normal trouser. So I'll just curve it like so. So that 1 inch I marked was just like a guide. You can see clearly what I've done. Just curve it like this neatly. Yes. And we are almost done with this jumpsuit, guys. So the next step is to mark how wide you want the neckline and my sleeve point. So what I did, I marked a total of 20 inches, although I'm still going to add extra 1 inches much later. Then I went ahead to, so for the how wide I want my sleeve to be, I did about 10 inches. Yes, I did 10 inches. You can decide to do 8 or 9 depending on you. So I just went ahead to rule a straight line to connect it to my bust point, just like I've done. So what I did here is, at my waistline I measure my waist measurement, that's my exact waist measurement, and I marked extra 10 inches. So this 10 inches is what we're going to be using for the pleats, and I went ahead to slant my line to connect like so. So that is what I did at my waistline. At my bust point I measured my bust measurement, and I went ahead to mark extra 10 inches for my pleat. You know, that's the area that our pleat is going to be. So after doing this, I just connected it to my 10 inches that I marked for my sleeve, and I connected it again to my waistline. Okay, so that's what I did. So at my crotch extension, what I did there is, whatever it is that I had on my sleeve area, that is the 20 inches, is what I marked at my crotch extension. So 20 inches at my shoulder area is exactly what I now marked at my crotch extension points. So I marked this after the 4 inches that we marked out for our extension. So I'll just go ahead and also connect this line all the way down, and that is how wide the down part of our jumpsuit is going to be. So the next step now is to mark our neck depth and width. Okay, so for the neck depth for the front I did 2 inches. Then I did about 3.5 inches. I did 3.5 inches for the wideness. Then for the depth for the front I did 7.5 inches for the depth for the front of this jumpsuit. So remember, we're cutting our front and our back together. So I just went ahead to connect this all the way, and we're going to go ahead and begin cutting out like so. So the first thing we're going to be cutting out is our crotch extension area. So we're just going to go ahead and cut out for our crotch extension. I'll just go ahead and cut this out, that curve out, all the way to the top part before we cut our neckline and of course the main fabric. Then we'll begin imputing our pleats. So just pay attention to how I'm cutting. So after cutting, what I did is I opened up for the back. I just went ahead to cut out for the back neckline first. Then I just went ahead to slant the upper parts of my, I didn't do any slope, so I just used my free hand to just slope it a little bit because I was trying to manage my fabric as much as I can. So the next step now is to go ahead and cut open this crotch area part, this down part, like so. So I just went ahead to open it up, ensure that it aligns properly as you are opening it. Then the next step is to go ahead and cut the side. So I just added extra 1 inch just to be on safe side all the way as I was cutting out the side of the jumpsuit. So this is basically it. For our jumpsuit, guys. Our jumpsuit is ready. So I'm going to notch the waist area because there's a pocket at the side, an invisible pocket at the side. You can do without it as well, it's optional, but I included a pocket. So now I'm cutting out for the neckline. I slanted it a bit before cutting out so as to be sure which one is my front and which is my back. So I just went ahead to cut out just like I've done. Next is to begin imputing our pleats. Remember that we left 10 inches for our pleats. This is what my cuts look like. Remember we included 10 inches for our pleats. So now I'm going to mark my waistline, then 1 inches for my. So at my waist point I went up by 3 inches, then I went down by 2.5 inches. So that is how long my pleat will be. So this measurement I'm marking is at my waist point, that's my waistline. I went up by 3 inches and I went down by 2.5 inches, just like I'm doing here. So I'm just marking this so that I will know where my pleat will start and where my pleat will stop. So next now is to determine that 10 inches that I left. How many pleats will I have from that 10 inches? So you can decide to have 6 pleats, you can decide to have 5 pleats, but I'm going to calculate for 5 pleats first because I want to see after the 5 pleats, whatever it is I have, I can still pleat. So what I did is I'm going to be pleating a total of having 5 pleats. So the space between each of my pleats is going to be just 1 inches, and what I'm going to be pleating is 1.2 inches. So I'm going to pleat until I have exhausted the 10 inches that I left. And even after exhausting the 10 inches, that's, I'm pleating just 1.2 inches. That extra 1 inches I'm giving as a space can still add up again to my main to my total waist circumference. But that's the beauty of this jumpsuit. You can always pleat after you have done joining all your jumpsuit together. If you see that you still have excess, you can still pleat it and it will still come out nice. So this is me trying to just mark my pleats like I said I would. I'm leaving about 1 inch difference before I now go ahead and impute my pleats. So my pleat is about 1.3 inches. Sorry, it was I did 1.3 inches for my pleats. Then the space between each pleat was about 1 inches. So I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to do this for the both sides of my front, and I will do this for the both side of my back. So when I was pleating the other side of my front, I started from the side front, but I'll advise that all your pleats should start from the center. So for instance, for this front piece, you observe that I started the pleats from the center front. So you should do the other side as well from the center front, because I realized that I did the second one from the side, which I corrected as I was pleating the second side later. Then for the back, start your pleats from, if you decide to start your pleats from the side back, let the 2 pleats be from the side back so that the center of your jumpsuit will align appropriately. So this is what I'm saying. After I've done my 5 pleats, I still observe that I still had excess. So those excess is what I will now use to join my sides together. I'll use to join my crotch area. Then if after I'm done joining all this parts and I still see that there's excess, I will do another pleat before imputing my zipper for the back. I hope you understand what I've explained so far. Like, it's just pretty easy. Just ensure that, for instance, if you are leaving 5 inch, if you are leaving 6 inches, you are leaving 8 inches, ensure that you exhaust your pleats with that 8 inches. So I'm getting my waist point here for the other side of the front, and I'm going to be including all my pleats just like I said I would. Ensure you do this from the center front. You observe what I'm trying to say. So I corrected this much later when I was doing it, when I was splitting it on my machine. So I'm going to be showing you how to close your pleats. So I'm going to do this because it's going to make it very easy for me when I'm stitching down. So we'll do this together. So I went ahead to turn on my neckline with my bias tape before I begin inputting my pleats. So I'm just going to show you. So this part that you've pinned down, just hold it like this, and so just hold it and ensure that you have your tape rule with you, so you can also measure to be sure that what you are pleating is 3 inches above your waistline and 2.5 inches below your waistline is where you're going to stop your pleat from. This is why it's important to mark that line before imputing your pleat. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch. Then when I get to where I want to stop, I will top stitch as well, just like I've done here. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to be doing this all the way to all my pleats, so you can see what it's looking like. So I'll do this again on the other side. I'll place the other side. So once you've started the pleats, once you are stitching the next one, where you start you'll be seeing it, and where you stop you'll be seeing it. So as you are stitching the second one, ensure that it aligns appropriately. So just straighten your fabric as you're stitching neatly, just like I'm doing here. You can see, easy peasy, right? So I'm going to just keep doing this. You can see how our pleat is coming out neatly. I'll keep doing this all the way to the other side. And after doing this for the two front pieces, I'm just going to go ahead and attach my pocket on the front side area. So your pocket should be stitched right side, facing right side, yeah? So you can see what I've done so far. So this is how you should just keep doing it. Keep doing it all the way. Keep doing it like this. Keep doing it like this. You can see how it's looking like. I'll just show you. I have one left. So basically we stitch the first front together, yeah? So just keep doing this. So after stitching, like I had about 5 pleats, but I think I added one more pleat later on after joining. You can see how beautiful our pleat has formed appropriately. So I'll do this for the other sides, both the back as well, and I'll also show you. So I also went ahead to include my pocket, just like I said. I stitch right side facing right side from my waistline. Then I'll join my two fronts together neatly. So I'll join it together like so. I use the bias to turn the neckline, both the front and the back. So I'll just go ahead and join my neckline, top stitch, and I'll stitch all the way down and connect it to the crotch depth. So this line is going straight down to the crotch depth points. So you can see our crotch. Yes, this is how I'm going to just close up all the way to the crotch area like so neatly. So after doing this, I'll go ahead and pleat for the back, and I'll come back to show you. You can see how I have done it in this video. So this is what it looks like, and see how beautiful our pleat has formed. So I've gone ahead to join the shoulders of both the back and the front as well. Then this is the back pleat. This is what it's looking like. So I've joined the shoulders as well, and I've not fixed my. So what I'm going to do a tightening at my waist area. So I'll align my front and back. I would have done this much earlier, I'll align my front and the back, and I'll go in by 1 inches. So that 1 inches, I'll slant it up and I'll slant it down. This is just going to take out any bulge, because you know this is a jumpsuit, so we don't want to have any gaping at the back of this jumpsuit. So I'll just connect it like so all the way, and I'll cut that part out. So after cutting that part out, the next step now is to go ahead and join the crotch for the front and the back together, and I'll go ahead and also stitch my sleeve area. So that sleeve area, I've not closed it, so I'll close my sleeve area and I'll iron it. And I'll also go ahead and turn, I'll go ahead, I cut out excess from the sleeve area, and I'll go ahead and fold it like so, and I'll do that for both sleeves. Then I'll go ahead and connect my pockets to the back as well. Then I'll go ahead and close my sides. So I'll go ahead and stitch my pockets to the other side. So the pocket should be fixed right side facing right side as well. So my pocket length is about 8 by 8 inches. So this is what it looks like. I've stitched my pockets in place. I've closed the sides like so. So the next step now is to close up our jumpsuit, and how I'm going to do it is very easy. Ensure that you cut out all your threads from your pleats. Is very important because you might forget. So just go ahead and cut it out. So now I'm going to place my jumpsuit together, and I'll go ahead and close the sides. So what I'm going to do is I will stitch from my sleeve area, and I'll go ahead and top stitch at that point on my pocket to just close it up. Then I'll leave that part open, and I'll continue stitching from the other side until I close up all the sides of my jumpsuit. Then I'll go ahead and connect the crotch area together, both the front and the back, and I'll stitch the sides as well. And that's basically all. Our jumpsuit is almost ready. After doing this is what it looks like. I've closed everywhere. I'll go ahead and turn the down part, and you can see how our pocket is. And the next step is to fix my zipper. So after fixing my zipper, that's basically all. I'm using an invisible zip for this jumpsuit to give it a very good look, and that's basically all. I'll go ahead and fold the down part as well, and that's all for our jumpsuit creatives. I hope you learned something. So this is what mine look like. You can see how beautiful our jumpsuit is looking. I hope yours also turned out well and even much better. Thank you guys for watching and sticking with me to the end, and I'll definitely be seeing you in my next video. If you have any questions, do well to ask it in the comment section, as I'll be there to answer all your questions. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, share and comment, and also give this video a thumbs up, and I'll definitely be seeing you in my next tutorial, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.